Do you think the sweater's green? Is that what you said to me?
Is there a little green in it?
No, it's gray. Ken's like, I'll go get my green sweater. I'm like,
Gray green?
no, it's just gray.
So we're going to fight before we turn on the cameras?
No, it's fine. Welcome back. It's great to see you.
So, today's video, we're going to talk about what our plan is for Advent coming up. And then Janelle's going to give us a little update on pregnancy life. Right?
I guess I will.
Advent is a beautiful time in the church where we are preparing for the coming of Jesus Christ. St. Alphonsus, we're going to look at his Advent sermons. And if you've been following us for the last number of years, you know that we've done examinations of his daily sermons in Lent and Advent. We're going back to him, hopefully with fresh eyes and a renewed heart. Because you can read something again and something just catches you in a fresh way. And so I just love St. Alphonsus. And I know recently before we turned on the cameras, you were saying something.
Right, because I hadn't read any of his writings for quite a while. And when I started reading them, I was like, oh, right. I remember how he speaks and how he, approaches these topics. It's good. It's so good. It's refreshing.
And how does he approach those topics?
He's very, I want to say black and white.
Yeah. It really comes down to, in his mind, heaven or hell, up or down, left or right, goats or sheep. There is no in between. And this is sometimes what we need. We need to be reminded of the reality of this life. And we cannot make Catholicism this soft thing, because it's not a soft thing. It's based on irrefutable truths that have been revealed to us by God. And St. Alphonsus just brings them out and says, and this is how it's applicable to your life. So if you can't tell, I just really love him. And I love how he communicates. And so Advent, we turn our minds to remember the second coming of Christ. That's one thing that we do in Advent. And then the second thing is we prepare our hearts to celebrate the birth of Jesus, the Nativity. But you'll recognize this theme with St. Alphonsus is he's always going to go back to, throughout Advent, the second coming of Jesus, the seriousness of sin, the reality of hell, the beauty of heaven, the
power of reparation.
The power of reparation, the power of God's love to save us. But these are just wonderful reminders. So 5 days a week, we're going to be releasing videos Monday to Friday. If you'd like to get these videos emailed to you, there'll be a link in the description where you can sign up and start receiving these daily reflections. We call it Advent Daily, although it's only 5 days of the week.
With the exception of the first Sunday of Advent.
That's right. So we're going to get a bonus one there. So that's what you can expect. And also we're going to encourage people to say a rosary with us as part of this journey to prepare our hearts. So did I miss anything?
Well, did you want me to mention about...
Oh, yeah.
So I was reading a little bit through some of St. Alphonsus' sermons here just in preparation, and he was talking about how we should be so grateful that we are living in a time after the arrival of Jesus on earth. And he was talking about how if Christ would have come onto the scene right after the fall of Adam, how it would have had not as great of an impact. And the reason for that is because people didn't understand the degree or the evil of sin, like how horrible and how horrendous what it could be. And so they were, waiting as long as God did to allow Jesus to be born in Bethlehem. It was like people were ready. People needed that Savior to come. And so we now, living in 2024, we get to experience the beauty of the coming Savior this Christmas. And
what a privileged time to live, because God could have brought us into time at any point in time. Could you imagine have been the Israelites wandering in the desert for 40 years?
Kind of start feeling discouraged.
Tough life, right? Also tough life. Grumbling and complaining about God, and then seeing these great signs, and then losing your faith. What whiplash.
Yeah, exactly.
In one sense, I think we live in a time that's Well, it's a grace time. It's the fullness of time because Jesus is coming to the world.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it's called in Galatians. They call it a happy time, and they call it the fullness of time. Yeah.
So we're blessed to be living now and seeking Jesus. So enough about Advent.
Okay, so about this pregnancy?
Yeah, what about?
So when this video is released, I will be 34 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
And the earliest we ever had a baby was at 37 and 2.
In case somebody's wondering, how many babies have you had?
Oh, okay. This will be baby number 8. Though I did have 1 miscarriage, so I guess technically a 9th pregnancy. But so baby number 8, I'm 43 years old, which I feel like is kind of old in the time of having babies.
They call you a geriatric?
Yeah, geriatric pregnancy.
Wow. I consider you still a spring chicken, right? Can't trust those medical establishment people. They get it wrong sometimes.
But anyhow, it's funny because throughout this whole pregnancy, I've been telling people, I'm like, this has been like the best pregnancy. And honestly, it really has. Like I've had a lot of energy and it's been just really joyful. And I feel like it just, sometimes it's like I forget that I'm even pregnant. But that kind of has sort of changed these last few weeks. I've definitely come to the realization that I can't move as quickly and that I have more challenges just catching my breath or picking things up off the floor. But it's still beautiful. And I feel like it's what a grace time to be able to offer up these little sufferings, because I feel like otherwise I actually don't have many sufferings in my life, like many physical sufferings. And so to be able to give that up, I'm thankful for that as well. But I do feel like the baby will be here pretty soon. So my due date is January 6th, which is Epiphany. However, I've never reached my due date. The latest I've gone, I think, is 39 weeks and 2 days. So I'm thinking this baby will be here around New Year's.
So 39 weeks puts us where?
I guess that would be right at around New Year's, I think. Or just like the day before New Year's. I don't know. I don't know
and
the calendar.
That's the latest you've gone?
Yeah, that's right.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so it's going to be busy around here soon.
So you're pretty confident we're not going to get to 2025 with this baby?
I don't know. I guess the baby will come when they come, and we won't pressure them to come out.
So we're lining up, could possibly be January 1st, if you carry to the farthest you've ever gone.
That's right. I think that would be right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm nervous.
We'll keep you updated. You're nervous? Why are you nervous? Just because it's busy, or are you nervous about the labor?
I don't like seeing you suffer. Yeah. It's not a pleasant thing, but also it's a beautiful thing. And it happens pretty, I don't know how you think, but it happens pretty quick.
Previous pregnancies, I've had a lot of anxiety going into labor and delivery, just like knowing, having had, with our last baby, for example, having had 6 natural births, just knowing what was coming. And it was just, I remember I would have a hard time sleeping and just feel so anxious, waking up in the middle of the night thinking, is it happening? Is it happening? And Ken would be like, that hard part really isn't that long.
Well, I timed it, and I'm like, it's not going to be that much longer.
But like that hard part is like what I fixate on, right? But you know what? God did something beautiful the last delivery, and I just feel like I've had no worries or anxiety about this coming one, which is I'm so grateful for, because it was really stealing a lot of my peace. And so we have had this will be our 6th home birth, if it does end up being a home birth. And those in themselves have been really beautiful. Our first 2 babies were born at the hospital, and they were beautiful too. And then I was able to get on with the midwives, and that's a whole new experience too. And I'm not opposed to going to the hospital. Clearly, if I had a high-risk pregnancy or if there's any complications, we go. And but yeah, so
some people from other countries or even Canada might be a little bit unfamiliar with the idea of a home birth. They might be seen kind of as a fringe, kind of radical type thing that many people don't do, but it's actually part of our healthcare system. Where we're blessed in this way, I think, in Canada, to have health care that's covered by the government. Our taxes go towards paying for that, so we don't have private health care. And it's very difficult to get on to this program. The midwifery is what it's called. Right. It's very difficult. Many people want to, but they don't get on. And so once you get on that list, it's easier to stay on that list. And so it's been, for you, you would say it's been a huge blessing, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, most certainly. Like, it's just the fact that you don't even have to leave your home. I remember some of the hardest parts during those first 2 was like the commute from the house to the hospital. So it's just really nice to not have to do that. And then to just stay home, like as soon as a baby's born, it's like you're in your own bed, you're in your own rocking chair, it's just really nice. The kids might, some people like their kids around. I would not want my kids around.
Yeah, so cameras are off, kids are gone. There'll be me and Janelle, the midwife, and they have a second.
Yeah,
there's
that's
someone.
right. Just pray that it doesn't snow too much and that our road is clear.
Yes.
So, anyhow, other than that, I don't know. Is there anything else you want me to share?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay.
Unless you want to get more detailed.
No,
Okay.
I think that's good.
So please join us for Advent. We look forward to journeying with you, and we'd be honored if you would. And, it's all free. And please share this opportunity with somebody that you think might be interested in journeying with you on. Or a group. You could have a Bible study, and you could do this together. You'll get the emails sent to you. So please consider that.
And so how would people find these readings if they were interested in following along?
I will put a link in the description of each video that we release, and that's where you can find the readings if you wanted to do the whole reading. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, join us. Click below. God bless you.